I'll be going through the answers quickly, so make sure your course book is open and in front of you. And please stop and rewind the video as you need to. So, got your book open in front of you? Are your answers in capitals? Want to know why the answers are the answers? Then let's go. For question number 1, if we have a look before the gap, we can see we've got the adjective great. Adjectives, as we know, modify nouns. And of course, this adjective doesn't have a noun to modify. And if we have a look at the language pattern, it says, in it, Gervais causes great what? That language pattern also demands a noun. So it's clear that we need a noun. And if we have a look at the stem word, we can see that the noun that we need is embarrassment. For question number 2, if we have a look at the word before the gap, we can see that it is a relative pronoun which refers to possession, which means that we must have a noun. And we have that noun. It's after the gap. It's opinion. And before opinion, you've got high, which is an adjective which modifies opinion. And before high, we've got our gap. So that means we've got two options here. We can either use an adjective or we can use an adverb. If we choose an adjective, however, we're modifying the noun. If we're using an adverb, we're modifying the adjective. The key thing here is to have a look at the context. And the context is rather that this Gervais thinks so highly of his managerial skills. So we need the adverb to modify the adjective, not an adjective to modify the noun. So the answer here, therefore, is fantastically. For question number 3, if we have a look at the language pattern, it says by his group of what? Group is a collective noun to describe another noun. You see plenty of examples of this in English. A herd of cows, a pride of lions, a flock of birds, etc, etc, etc. Here we're talking about a group of employees, which is why the answer is employees. Question number 4, easy peasy. Just before the gap we've got an article. We don't have the noun to which that article refers, which means that we need the noun. The noun here, look at the stem word, is conclusion. For question number 5, if we have a look at the language pattern, we can quickly work out that we need an adverb here. The adverb will modify the adjectives soft and feminine. So what's the adverb that we're looking for? Well, we've got two choices. We can either use the positive form or the negative form. Is it attractively or is it unattractively? Of course, the answer is attractively. For question number 6, just before the gap, we can see that we've got a modal verb, and then we've got a negative form afterwards. After modal verbs, what do we need? We need bare infinitives. So what is the bare infinitive of the stem word that we need? Given the context, of course, we need the answer underestimate, which is of course not how you pronounce it underestimate, which is better, so underestimate. For question number 7, a couple of things to take into account. First of all, we've got a plural personal pronoun before the gap. All personal pronouns need a noun of some kind, and that's what's missing in this case, so we need a noun. But what noun do we need? Do we need a singular noun or a plural noun? And that's a good question, because after the gap we've got two adjectives, agreeable and obliging. But the context is important because the context tells us that they appear in these two ways at the same time. So here we need a singular form of the noun, ability. For question number 8, easy way to finish the exercise. Just before the gap you've got an adjective, just before the adjective you've got an article. Both of them need a noun, which of course is missing, so that's what we need to put in. But the article, the type of article that's being used, tells us that the noun must be singular. So the answer that we need is similarity.